your expectations are, or the team, your thoughts of how they've responded this preseason and going into the first game?
I really think, after last season, going into spring is when these kids really kind of started to respond to what we were wanting to get done, and the leadership started coming around that we were asking for, and their commitment, the work ethic that they put in through the spring and through the summer, was tremendous. And then even through fall camp, these kids really stepped up and did the things we asked them to do, never complained, moaned. I know it gets hard, especially week or day 12 and 11, things really start to wear on them. But, they kept fighting through it, kept battling through it. Didn't really have an off day of practice at all. But these kids have done what we asked them to do. And I'm very proud of them, and I'm excited to see what they have on Thursday.
Obviously, one of the big questions going in was starting quarterback. You had 3 guys battling. Have you decided on the starter going in the first game?
I think we're pretty close. But yeah, I think we know who our guy is. You'll find out here on Thursday. But he's a tremendous young player. Does some really good things for us. Has grown and matured. Loves the weight room. Has gotten stronger. Has put on some weight as well, and has made himself faster and more athletic. And I think Thursday he's going to have a good showing for us.
Did the competition? Three-guy race. It felt like. Did the competition? Did you tell a difference in everybody elevating their play and game?
I think so, and I think it's just across the board. Us having depth at all positions has really, helped with competition and guys wanting to get on the field and play. And, we have some guys that just kind of, we thought they were in the rotation and end up, through summer and then through fall camp kind of saw themselves out of the rotation. But with the competition that we've had, across the board at all positions has really improved our football team. And that's good to have. So that means you have some depth as well, going into these first 3 games is very important, and then through the whole season, and depth's important. But I think we have that depth now, and guys are still competing for spots as well. And they're pushing one another, and the starters don't want to lose their job, and the backups are still trying to get those jobs. So once you get that happening, good things usually happen.
Not publicly disclosing your starter at that position, is that strategic to try to keep your opponent guessing?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just, letting it ride a little bit, keep you guys guessing a little bit, and I think that's just kind of the way it works in the world today. And maybe a little bit just trying to keep them on the back burner of who our guys really truly going to be, and we know who it is right now, and obviously here in a second you'll probably know who it is as well. So. But it's good to have him, back there at the helm for us and give him his second round to get after and show us what he can do, because, I got full faith in this young man and what he's going to be able to accomplish this year on the football field, because I do feel he's a true competitor, and he holds himself accountable, he holds his team accountable, and, he can make the plays when we need the plays made. And he's just a tremendous athlete and does the things we ask him to do.
When did you make that decision, and what was the final determining factor that pushed him over the edge compared to the other two?
Probably just a little bit more experience, and his growth and maturity, through spring and through the summer and even through fall camp, just showing us that he is our guy and that he should be our guy. So, it was kind of his job to lose, and he wasn't going to lose that job, and he did everything he could to possibly keep that job, and he kept it, and he worked his tail off to do that, and but I think he liked the pressure. I think he's one of those guys that likes the pressure on him, and he thrives on that, and it makes him a better football player.
When did you let them know that on the decision?
I think it was maybe Saturday or Sunday of is it last week, I guess? All these days are running together right now. There's been so many days that we've been going, so I couldn't even tell you today was Monday until Ryan told me it was earlier.
A lot of new receivers in that room, and then we have a battle for quarterback. And you feel it's hard to get a rhythm, or do you feel those groups meshed well together despite all the competition for playing time and starting roles and all that stuff?
I think our coaches did a good job of having rotations with quarterbacks with certain receivers, and this quarterback with these receivers, and the next day they switched. I think that's good, because you're going to play multiple receivers, in a football game, and that's just kind of how the game works. He might have one receiver this play, and then the very next play, because there's a deep ball, we're going to put somebody else in there. So they all have to be on the same page, and they all have to have the same timing. So I think it's good for them to have that mixture, as our coaches did through practice, just to kind of get these guys all ready, for whoever's going to be the play caller, and whoever's going to catch the ball as well.
Some of last year was the situation with injuries, but you played multiple quarterbacks in game. Is that something you consider still doing, even though you had named your starter?
I don't know. I feel like, it just kind of depends on the situation of the game and how things are going. I think right now our guy is our guy. I mean, because I think we truly think he can do everything that we want him to do, with the ball in his hands, whether it's throwing or even possibly running a little bit. But and him, having the ability to scramble and get out of the pocket and make things, happen on the run. So, we may, maybe later on down the road, but I think, this first game we'll just kind of play it out by ear and see how things go.
How tough is it to game plan for week one, considering there's no recent film on them and they may have changes in their program from last year to this year? How do you approach week one preparation, and is that more difficult?
It's tremendously difficult. I mean, everything that you do is, you don't even know if it's what you're going to see, on game day. So you try to throw as many different things as them as you possibly can, whether, their offense, kind of look at their offense last year and what could they do out of that offense and throw it at your defensive guys. And then even defensively, kind of look at their defense and then maybe get into a different front or maybe bring a different blitz or whatever it might be, just to kind of prepare your kids, because you never know what you're going to get week one. You don't know what players are returning and not returning, because sometimes you get depth charts that aren't fully completed, as well. And, but it's hard, and it's hard on our kids. And but you have to prepare them the most you possibly can, and throw as many things as you possibly can at them, and try to keep it as simple as possible offensively and defensively, so they just go play football and do their job. And if they understand their job and what their assignment is, usually good things will happen for you.
Coming off a couple of tough last couple of seasons, how important is it to get started with a win in week one this year?
It's always important, and I think if our kids do the things that they're supposed to do, hopefully we can walk away with a win. But you can't look at any team lightly. I mean, Northeastern took us to the wire last year, and it was a tough game for us. But I just want to see these kids that we have right now perform, and all the work that they put in, through spring and through summer, and through fall camp. I think is going to show, on Thursday when they play, because they really have, put the time and effort in that they needed to be successful. And I just hope it carries. I hope that shows, when we play on Thursday.
What's been your impression of the defense? I mean, you're a young team this year, but you've got a lot of veterans on that side of the ball back. Just your expectations and what you thought of the camp.
Don't give up any points. That's probably the main thing. But no, it's just play hard. Play hard, do your job, play physical, play fast, and the one thing I'm really harping on is physicality. If we can play very physical and, and create some turnovers and get the ball back to our offense, great things are going to happen. But I think it's the physicality, and, and then the older guys that have played and have some reps, having that leadership role and taking care of things on the field and off the field and getting guys to play hard, for each other. And, they've done that through fall camp. But, my main thing is I just don't want to give up a deep ball, and we want to play fast. We want to play physical, get as much pressure as we can on the quarterback, and stop the run. And with these guys that we have, I really truly think we can do those things.
One of the challenges on this first game, in a sense, it's Tahlequah, your longest trip. It's a Thursday night, and you're in the hotel, all day. It's kind of a unique game compared to what you normally face during the regular season.
Yeah, we just had to kind of change up some of our timing stuff, on this trip with, we used to do all of our special teams in the morning, over a walkthrough, because we're leaving on Wednesday, but we're just going to do position meetings that day and, then go through a walkthrough and then take that long trip and eat dinner and then have them have a team meeting, because we have all day on Thursday, to do a lot of those things. So, then we'll let them sleep in a little bit. Eat breakfast, then we'll kind of start going through our special teams meetings, and then offensive defensive meetings, and then have pregame meal, get on the road and go. So just to kind of keep them more focused, on game day, because sometimes I thought maybe we overloaded them too much and met with them too much, and just to give them really that time to relax and take it easy. Just kind of sometimes you just got to get the game off your mind for just a little bit, so that you can just relax.
How are you injury-wise going into the season?
Not too bad. So far it's we had a few here and there, but I just feel like the guys that we have stepped in and done a good job of replacing them. But we'll see how things happen. It just, you never know till game one how guys are going to respond. But it's a lot better than last year at this time. Is one thing I can tell you. But I think we'll be okay. I think the guys that filled in for them and they're doing a great job, and they've gotten themselves ready and they're ready for week one.
Some rule changes this year. A couple of them I'm interested in. One, the clock obviously keeps going after first downs. How does that change? Because it feels like there might be less plays run in a game than there was. as the first one. And then the second one, with the red shirt rule and allowed to play 3, how does that affect your travel squad? Do you anticipate some true freshmen getting some time throughout the year to take advantage of that?
Yeah, I think the clock, not stopping after a first down will probably eliminate a few plays. I don't know how many. It's probably going to be the hardest on the chain crew and the ball crew is on a big play. Getting down, getting the ball set up, because the 40-second clock starts right away once the play's called dead. So that's going to be the hard part, getting down there, getting set up, so our guys can get set up and lined up as well. And hopefully that's not a problem, and we have the opportunity to get set up. And if they make a mistake, hopefully the officials will give us a 25-second clock at least, just to kind of get ourselves ready to go. But I don't know how many plays will really cut out. I mean, probably 10, 15 maybe a game. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's both sides of the ball or one, but we'll see how that goes. And it's it's just learning in 2 minutes. It will stop in 2 minutes now, and then make sure you get out of bounds as well. So, and then travel-wise with the 3 games, it's just kind of hard, right? Because they can play in 3 games and that's it. I mean, do we play them early? Do you play them late? Do they just do a few special teams? Now that game's burn up, and then all of a sudden we have an injury and that kid needs to play right away. So it's like playing poker. I mean, you're dealt your hand and you're trying to figure out, okay, what do you do with these kids? And so it's just going to be a process for us, just trying to learn how this thing's going to work and how much is this kid really going to play for us. But I know we do have to get some kids in there and play and get them some reps and get them used to playing. But you don't want it just to be 1 or 2 plays, on special teams, and that's their game. You want to make sure that you're able to get them in there and actually get them some game reps, on offense or defense, if you're going to burn that red shirt or use those 3 games. So still a learning game for us as well, but I think we're starting to kind of figure it out how we want to do things. But we'll find out here Thursday. Maybe we'll get some of these kids in there and get them some reps, and it just kind of depends on how this game goes.
Have you noticed a change in the players in practice in week 1 prep? Are they amping up or what's it like as you get closer?
I think, we're in week 3, and day 1 was pretty amped, right? And day 2 was pretty amped, and day 3, they have been nonstop. Just excited to be at practice and, ready to get after it every single day. And like I said, they don't complain about anything. They just go to work and get after it. No matter if I put them on the sidelines to run them and say, let's go do this, And most kids hate conditioning. These kids, I guess, might like it a little bit. I don't know. But I'm sure they don't, but they don't care. They know it's going to make them a better football player, make this team better. But, these kids haven't missed a beat. They just keep getting better every single day, and that's all you can ask. And, we got 2 more practices, and if we can really make these next 2 our best 2 practices of the year, I will be completely satisfied with the way we went through fall camp in this week of this preparation for game week.